I just want to remind you all that in the future, in order to vote for future videos, click on the info card in the upper right hand corner. The choice with the most votes will always be made first, which means that the runner-up video will be released in the following weeks afterwards. So with that out of the way, let's get right into this week's video. What if Naruto married Sakura? How would the Naruto story change? Would things turn out for better, or would they turn out for worse? In today's Naruto What If, I plan to look at just that. In the years leading up to the final chapter of Naruto, chapter 700, there was a massive divide in the Naruto fandom. A large segment of the population wanted Naruto to end up with Hinata, and an equally large segment wanted Naruto to end up with Sakura. Even Kishimoto himself weighed in 2017, though his comments directly contradicted what he said in previous interviews and in databook entries. However, so as to keep this video from getting off track, I'll be saving a breakdown for that for my Naruto Decoded series, which I'll be starting later on this fall. As we all know, Naruto married Hinata and Sakura married Sasuke, which resulted in both women giving birth to their husbands' children. However, what if this didn't happen? Well, in order for this to take place, there would need to be a drastic change at the end of the Naruto series, particularly when Sakura walked back 90% of her character development and once again confessed her desire to have little red-eyed Uchiha babies with Sasuke, right after he declared that he would murder the 5 Kages, Naruto, and all of the tailed beasts. In this scenario, Sakura would have her heart broken at the sight of seeing Sasuke's true nature, and she wouldn't confess her love for him. Just like Sakura's databook entry that highlighted her extremely confused feelings for Naruto Uzumaki, which was released in the Naruto Sha-Na-Sho databook, Sakura would now find herself so confused that she wouldn't know how she felt for Sasuke. It is due to her silence that I believe that there is a lowered chance of Sasuke placing her under a genjutsu, which he originally did in order to prevent her from interfering in his battle with Naruto. However, I do believe that Sasuke would still place Sakura under a genjutsu simply for the fact that she would be viewed as a wild card in this scenario. Kakashi was too physically drained to move without assistance at the time, which left Sakura as a possibility to interfere. After Sasuke places her under a genjutsu, the final battle of Naruto and Sasuke would go on as planned. By the time the events of chapter 699 occur, where Sakura heals Naruto and Sasuke, Sakura would still be swept up in an emotional whirlwind. Sasuke's apology would still trigger an emotional response in both Kakashi and Sakura. Kakashi would think back to his first memory of Team 7, though Sakura would look between Naruto and Sasuke in silence. Her eyes would be brim-filled with tears as she thought of Sasuke's departure to join Orochimaru. And then she would recall how she cried for Naruto to bring Sasuke back to her. Sakura would continue to think of the many crimes that Sasuke committed, and her chest would become tight, in the exact same place where Sasuke killed her when he placed her under her genjutsu. Unlike in the manga, there would be no laughter as Sakura healed her teammates, perhaps a sad smile, but no warm and bubbly Team 7 reunion like we originally got. During the 18 months that passed with Sasuke in prison, she would likely still assist Tsunade in the creation for the prosthetic arm for Naruto and Sasuke, which was made from Hashirama's DNA. However, by the time that Sasuke leaves the village, Sakura would stay silent as Kakashi warned Sasuke not to cause any trouble and remind him that he was only free due to the fact that Kakashi is now the Hokage, and Naruto pleading for Sasuke's release. It would also be here that Sakura would take the next crucial step in moving away from Sasuke, because she wouldn't ask him to take her with him like she did in the original manga. The major change that occurs next is almost 2 years later, when the events of Naruto the Last occur. The love triangle that Kishimoto intended to create and failed very miserably at executing would finally begin to take shape. In the years after the war, Naruto's popularity with women in the village would have continued to skyrocket. He was no longer the orphan child who housed the Nine Tails, but instead, he was recognized as the lone hero of the Ninja War and openly recognized as the son of the 4th Hokage. It would be here that Sakura would notice her teammate. Though unlike Hinata, who in the novelization for The Last is stated to feel threatened by Naruto's sudden spike in popularity with women, Sakura would become curious. In the Shanaro data book, it becomes very clear that for a period of time, Sakura's feelings were very conflicted. The entry states that she used to think of Naruto as being annoying, but as the years passed, she felt her heart rush at the sight of him and acknowledged that Naruto was the one who was always at her side, always protecting her, always encouraging her. Sakura would pause for a moment at the sight of Naruto being swarmed by so many admirers and think back to how Sasuke once garnered that same attention many years ago. By the time that she and Naruto eat at the ramen shop, where she tells Naruto that romantic love isn't the same as loving food, another small change would occur, but depending on how you look at it, it could be a huge change. Instead of simply taking what Sakura said without question, Naruto would challenge her assertion that he didn't know what love is. It would be in this moment that Naruto would reveal to her that it was he and not Sasuke who complimented her forehead and said that he would want to kiss it. Moments after she thought to herself that Sasuke would never love her because of her forehead. Sakura's initial reaction would be that of the typical shonen female love interest of the main character. She would likely shout at Naruto and even hit him as a way to express her displeasure or her confusion towards him. It's very likely that Sakura would leave Naruto at this point, but in the days afterwards, she would likely think back to the very moment that he mentioned. In chapter 3, Sakura specifically stated that seeing Sasuke look at her with warm eyes made her feel as if he was looking right into her heart. Now that she knew that it was Naruto who stated that, as well as that it was Naruto who she almost kissed, Sakura's confusion would continue to skyrocket. This is where the love triangle of Naruto, Sakura, and Hinata would get even more complicated. Toneri would still come to Earth with the intention of taking Hanabi's eyes and making Hinata his bride. After Naruto fails to stop him, Kakashi would likely still assemble the same team of Naruto, Sakura, Sai, and Hinata, which was led by Shikamaru. While there would be a noticeable awkward discomfort between Naruto and Sakura, it wouldn't prevent the events of the Underground Spring from taking place. However, unlike in the movie, and more importantly in the novelization for Naruto the Last, a major change would take place. First, unlike in the novel, Naruto would not be asleep forehead to forehead next to Hinata. Instead, it would be Sakura who was positioned next to him. Second, Sakura would not be able to immediately break free of her genjutsu. Instead, in this scenario, Sakura would be flooded with memories just like Naruto was originally. It's at this point that several things would happen. Sakura would recall the day that Naruto pretended to be Sasuke. She would recall how she was asked of what she thought of Naruto and realize how wrong she was when she believed that Naruto got great joy out of watching her struggle. Due to their foreheads touching, some of Naruto's memories would float into Sakura's consciousness, just as Hinata's did for Naruto when the scarf in the movie connected them. Sakura would hear Naruto's internal monologue that from the moment that he stated that he finally understood how and why he liked Sakura so much when he pretended to be Sasuke, she would finally see how deeply Naruto was hurt when Sakura cried over Sasuke when Tsunade finally healed him, and the pained expression on his face that was so great as he mustered a weak smile that even Tsunade Senju took notice of it. She would see the events of chapter 183 from a brand new perspective, where she begged Naruto to bring Sasuke back to the village. Sakura would see how much it hurt Naruto to tell her that he knew how much pain she was in because of her feelings for Sasuke, because he understood her pain all too well. She would see the hurt face that he made that she couldn't see originally because she had closed her eyes to cry and only saw Naruto smiling just as he looked up at her, no longer with a hurt expression on his face. Sakura would see just how Naruto thought of her crying as he confronted Sasuke at the Valley of the End, and see firsthand how much physical pain Naruto endured in order to bring Sasuke back to her. Like Naruto received a flood of snapshot memories, making it very clear that Hinata cared for him on a deeper level than he understood, Sakura would see more of those moments with Naruto, fleeting snapshots of moments that formed into a giant collage of Naruto in her mind. One of the moments that she would see would be the events of chapter 457, where Sai asks Naruto if he loves Sakura, to which Naruto has a long faraway look on his face and replies that he could never tell Sakura how he feels because he couldn't keep his promise to her. She would recall how in chapter 458, Sai told her of the beating that Naruto took from Karui, but she would see firsthand how much Naruto endured for her sake during that moment. Sakura would see the dying words of Minato and Kushina, where Kushina told Naruto to find someone just like her, and finally understood what Naruto meant during his farewell to Minato when he told his father that not everything his mom asked him had gone according to plan, but that he was working on it. It would be then that Sakura would break free of the Genjutsu, just as she did in the original story. However, just as she began releasing her teammates from the Genjutsu, Sakura would pause at the sight of Naruto. As previously mentioned in 2 previous databook entries, as well as an older interview by Kishimoto, Sakura would once again come to the conclusion that Naruto had always been at her side, protecting her, comforting her, encouraging her, and putting her needs before his own. She would have the same epiphany that Naruto had in this moment in Naruto the Last, just as the Genjutsu was broken. After the Genjutsu is broken, Shikamaru would still order that the mission is to continue. However, unlike in the main story, another change would occur. Originally, Naruto stayed back to speak with Hinata about the memories that they shared. In this scenario, Naruto would stay back to speak with Sakura, though due to Sakura's forward personality and not being timid like Hinata, I could see her bringing up the subject herself. Regardless, I foresee a scenario where Sakura tells Naruto that they'll talk about what happened later, so as to give herself some time to sort through her feelings. This is where another drastic change occurred. When Naruto spoke to Hinata in both the movie and in the novelization for Naruto the Last, Toneri had appeared. In this scenario, Toneri wouldn't have the need to confront Naruto because he would be after Hinata and not Naruto, who would be with Shikamaru and Sai at this point. It is very possible that Shikamaru and the others still get attacked by the giant crab, but due to the chaos that's ensuing, Toneri would take the time to speak with Hinata. Given none of the current team possesses the raw power of Naruto and Sakura, I don't believe they'd be able to demolish the puppet in the same manner, though Hinata's Byakugan would notice that they were dealing with the puppet and not Toneri himself. It's here I believe that Naruto and Sakura would likely show up and destroy the puppet and defeat the crab if they had not already done so at this point. It's in the short time afterwards that Naruto would likely pair off with Sakura when their team reached the deserted ninja town, which Shikamaru likely wouldn't object to due to their history as teammates and the fact that the strongest ninja would be paired with the team medic, who on most accounts is viewed as the critical role for success in any ninja mission. With Sakura now more aware than ever before of Naruto's feelings, Sakura would likely let her guard down completely around Naruto as they work together. She would be more affectionate towards him during this time as she reflected on the heavy burden that she placed on Naruto. Just as Naruto began to come to the conclusion of his love for Hinata during this time in the movie, so too would Sakura begin to fall in love with Naruto. Unlike Hinata, who is timid and has trouble expressing her feelings, Sakura would likely bring up the subject of the Genjutsu trap with Naruto. I could foresee a situation where Naruto gets questioned about his feelings for Sakura, but before he gets answered, Sai would barge in just like he did in the original story. The reason being is that Hinata would be traveling with Shikamaru and Sai. The underground shrine would be found much faster due to the fact that Hinata has a Kekkei Genkai, the Byakugan, which negates Sakura's forward outgoing question. Hinata would notice the growing sense of mutual affection between Naruto and Sakura, just as Shikamaru and the others noticed the same thing happening in the movie for Naruto the Last between Naruto and Hinata. However, in the novelization, there is a moment where Shikamaru thinks of reprimanding Naruto and Hinata over the outward display of feelings because it interfered with the mission. Given that Naruto would be the cause of Hinata's discomfort, and it would be on full display given Hinata's character, Shikamaru would have an increased incentive to step in as the team leader. Shikamaru might pull Sakura to the side and explain the situation, or flat out reorganize the team without any warning, placing Hinata with himself and Sakura with Sai. This leads to a very interesting scenario where Toneri appears to take Hinata later that night. The entire team could be assembled since Hinata wouldn't have told Naruto to leave her alone. This could lead to Shikamaru having a battle with Toneri, though I believe that the likely scenario is that Hinata still leaves at night despite being reprimanded by Shikamaru and goes off with Toneri. Originally, Naruto was the one who awoke when Hinata left, but in this scenario it would be Shikamaru since he would be closest to her. While Shikamaru does have the shadow paralysis jutsu, we've seen before on numerous occasions that a shinobi of greater strength can break free of the jutsu, which would likely happen here if Shikamaru used it. It's at this point Toneri would take Hinata and the story would continue on as it did originally, though there would be some small and major changes. I don't see a scenario where Hinata willingly marries Toneri, even if he explains the reason for his love for her. I believe that due to her being the only one who can destroy the Tenseigan, that she would continue to plan out her attack as well as to take back her sister's eyes. Meanwhile, Sakura would still exhaust herself as she tried to keep the chakra flow inside of Shikamaru's body flowing, if Toneri's attack didn't kill him, that is. Unlike Naruto, Shikamaru doesn't have a strong life force of an Uzumaki as well as the Kyuubi's healing capabilities. If he doesn't die, I still believe that Sakura will work herself into exhaustion, which would lead to her needing time to recover. This would finally give us the moment where Naruto and Sakura have their long put off conversation. Naruto would remind Sakura of what she asked him, and he would tell her that he did indeed love her. It's at this point that Sakura would not only apologize for how she treated Naruto, as well as weighing him down with such an unfair burden to bring back Sasuke, but she would also bring up her false confession. She would remind him of her words that a woman's heart is fickle and can change like the seasons. It's here that Sakura would tell Naruto that the Genjutsu trap helped her see what she couldn't see before, which is how much Naruto cared for her and how much he had been there for her throughout the years. It's at this point not much would change. Naruto would still go on to defeat Toneri, and Hinata would likely take back Hanabi's eyes, and the world would go on to be saved. The real change that would occur would be at the end, where originally Naruto and Hinata held hands as they ran together. In this scenario, they would run past the younger versions of themselves, starting with a young Sakura who was picked on until she was embraced by a young Ino, and a young Naruto who was ostracized until Iruka acknowledged him. The culmination would be the two of them sharing a kiss in the air, with Hinata watching in the same heartbroken smile that Naruto did when he saw Sasuke with Sakura. In the years afterwards, Naruto and Sakura would grow closer, though the relationship wouldn't be completely smooth, but instead, it would likely mirror the typical shonen pairing of a main character with his outspoken yet hot-blooded, hot-tempered love interests, like Kenshin and Kaoru, Inuyasha and Kagome, Yusuke and Keiko, Renji and Rukia, Bulma and Vegeta, and Songo and Moroku. Their relationship would take time to progress to this point. This is due to the fact that each of these heroines listed before needed some time to move from being the hot-tempered female lead who often hit their partner when he did something stupid or did something that made her embarrassed, to being the loving partner that they were at the end of the series, though none of these women completely abandoned their hot-blooded nature. Originally, Sakura had worked herself to the bone, setting up medical clinics and rising through the ninja ranks all the way up to a Jonin status. She did so because she was filling the void created in her heart by Sasuke not being in the village. In this scenario, Sakura would still go on to set up the medical clinics due to her reasoning being more about the mental health of children and shinobi who fought in the war than Sasuke Uchiha himself. However, a strong argument can be made that she would still become a genin. The big exception to this is because of the fact that Naruto would continue to rise through the ranks on his path to becoming Hokage, and it would be more than enough to make Sakura continue on the same journey that she did originally. By the time that the 5-year anniversary of the war passes, which is when Naruto and Hinata got married, Naruto's demeanor might be a little different. As they married under the backdrop of the Hokage monument, Naruto looked up at his father's face. In this scenario, I could see Naruto looking at Minato's stone face and telling him that he finally completed his mother's wish all the way down to finding a woman just like her. Hinata, if she had not become the next Obito, declaring war over losing her love, or if Hinata had not become a Hyuga nun forever, locking away access to her vagina, which would become drier than the driest desert in the Sand Village. She would likely go on to become the Hyuga clan's leader and marry someone in an arranged marriage. While Hinata did care for Naruto, seeing Naruto marry the woman that he openly proclaimed in the beginning of the series to care for would not only make her recall Naruto's ninja way to never give up, it would speak volumes about Hinata's character, that she would likely use Naruto's happiness as motivation for her to find happiness of her own with someone else. Sasuke is where things get really interesting. Sasuke would take Sakura ending up with his rival Naruto to heart, especially given how and why he fell in love with her, which I will cover in a future video very soon. Though this would set off a chain reaction of events, it's very likely that Karin would grab her bottle of Ninja Gatorade and quench her thirst until Sasuke decided to visit her one night in Orochimaru's hideout and play a very intense game of hide the Susanoo sword. This would lead to the birth of their child, who would possess the highest potential out of any of the new generation due to the mixture of the Uchiha and Uzumaki blood. Meanwhile, Naruto would go on to become the Hokage, like Tsunade predicted when she told Sakura why her having a relationship with Naruto would not work. Their relationship would have more than a few rocky moments unless Sakura took the route of the other female shonen leads that I listed before, greatly scaling back her hot temper and allowing her husband to actually have a little bit of a goofy side to him. The children of Naruto and Sakura wouldn't have the Kekkei Genkai of the Hyuga clan like Boruto and Himawari. However, the children might very well have inherited Sakura's immense chakra control, which was stated on multiple occasions to be better than Naruto and Sasuke's, and Naruto's Uzumaki genes, which have a strong life force. Also, due to the fact that Naruto and his mother have enough chakra to contain the Kyuubi's chakra while also functioning without a problem, there remains a chance that their children could have a chakra pool similar to Boruto's, meaning that it would be above average but be nowhere near as large as Naruto's, but since Sakura's their mother, they would have better chakra control. Even if the children inherited Naruto and Kushina's penchant for raising hell, having Sakura there to strike the fear of God of them, as well as Naruto's own immense maturation that takes place when Naruto becomes a father, transforming him into a more laid-back yet stern person, and a drastic difference from the goofy, never think things through person he was before, I believe that these children would be held in check even if they were little hell raisers. Well guys, that's it for my video today. Let me know if you all want a part 2 to this, going into the events of the Boruto era. If I can get 100 likes for the comment asking for it, I'll begin working on a follow-up to it. Thanks so much for watching to the end, guys. Have an awesome day.